In the 1970s, very few organizations outside of governments generated research on environmental issues. The issue was marginal both in the news media and in academia. Worldwatch was designed to begin filling this void by identifying especially serious environmental problems, then figuring out how to spread the word about them and how to address them feasibly. We target issues that threaten humanity's well-being and even survival by pointing constructively to their urgency and offering strategies that will lessen the risk of these threats. The Worldwatch Institute works strategically through its research, outreach, and on-the-ground projects. Our objective is to accelerate the transition to an environmentally sustainable and socially just world. We seek to constantly deliver new insight through the Institute's core programs, prioritizing access to low-carbon energy and creating nutritious food for all, taking action on gender and population problems rooted in human rights, and seeking culture and economic change. Our current objectives include improving our own financial sustainability, increasing the impact of our research work, and expanding our network of environmental research publishers and partners. We work for rapid and transformative policy and behavior change on behalf of the environment and for the purpose of creating just societies. Worldwatch has several leverage points that help make us successful. Foremost is our reputation for careful, well-documented research with news media around the world. Our good name enables us to reach hundreds of journalists and millions of readers, listeners, and viewers with our work, whose accuracy is respected. Second is our global publishing network, which facilitates the dissemination of our work in some 20 languages worldwide. Third is our attractiveness to educators. Collectively, our constituency has the power to influence both social behavior and government policy in the direction of more equitable and sustainable societies. We focus less on criticism of society as it is now and more on the benefits of shifting directions. The objective is to move towards sustainability and equity that will ensure greater prosperity and human well-being. What makes Worldwatch effective is that we see ourselves as a fact-based, non-advocacy think tank that sets the industry standard in the environmental field. We offer a balanced and unbiased analysis of the world's most pressing environmental and social challenges. Our mission to accelerate the transition to environmental sustainability provides focus for our work. Our 38 years of experience in addressing sustainability elevate the profile of our output and draw creative people to our work and mission. We seek to model an approach that encourages our many partners and the vast global audience of readers we serve to act now for a better world. We do this directly through our website and publications and indirectly through the leverage gained with our news media work. Sustainability, our work conveys to our audiences, is not something the world's governments will ordain in a global conference or 2 or 10. It's something we arrive at in our daily lives, innovation by innovation, project by project, political campaign by political campaign. Worldwatch measures our success by weighing our presence in the marketplace of ideas and our influence in changing policy. This isn't a single metric because in order to accelerate the transition to sustainability, we must influence and change people's perception in academia, politics, business, and even in an individual's personal life. We find examples where our publications and related output have been used to further sustainability studies by other researchers or by scientific organizations, or where they've altered governmental policy or changed business practices, or, on a micro level, changed people's patterns of consumption and other behaviors. Ways we measure this outcome include academic citations of our work, praise from influential policymakers and those who surround them, and measurable increases in the news media's use of our material, web traffic, and readership. Of course, the gold ring is that we've actually helped change particular policies. Contrary to some perceptions, Worldwatch is not an advocacy group. We don't promote a particular environmental initiative or take on environmentalism. One of our greatest strengths is that we're committed to unbiased research and reporting in all of our publications and work. Our independence allows us to exercise complete editorial control over our publications, and we make sure that we only write what our research supports. Some environmental debates feature a fair amount of assertion and hand-waving. We focus on the science behind the issues. We're counted on to provide calm, well-reasoned, and documented analysis that may surprise and cuts through preconceptions. Over the past 38 years, the Worldwatch Institute has accomplished a lot. Our book series, State of the World, has become a model for similar annual books on the world's environment and the status of economics and human development. We've become renowned for our ability to interest the news media in critical environmental issues that are not always easy to understand. Our past work on food security and renewable energy has shaped the evolution of policy on both topics, particularly in China. It's hard to influence national policy in the United States, especially these days. Nonetheless, we often brief members of Congress and the administration on our findings. Several European governments fund our research, and many governments around the world utilize our work. Our publications, notably the series State of the World, published annually since 1984, are printed in dozens of languages and are a staple for libraries worldwide. The 2011 State of the World book was mentioned in more than 200 publications in 80 countries, including the New York Times, the Associated Press, China Daily, and the Times of India. This work is extremely challenging to fund consistently and well. In April 2011, a cash flow emergency contributed to the selection of new board and staff leadership. This has improved financial management, reduced debt, and raised new revenue. The response to our new leadership from institutional funders and donors has been encouraging. However, we've historically had a problem with general support funding to sustain our mission as a whole rather than for specific projects or initiatives. It's hard to provide our 3 program areas the support and assistance they need while lacking funding for basic overhead. However, the fact that we're still in operation after 38 years shows that we're capable of responding to the ever-changing nonprofit environment. Like many organizations that disseminate research and writing, we work in a very crowded world of information. Much more than at our founding, we now compete with hundreds of other organizations and individuals disseminating information and opinions on sustainability and human well-being. Worldwatch faces a significant need for human resources, chiefly senior staff in management, development, and in our core programs. Our management and program leadership is at the moment stretched rather thin. As we currently are better endowed with restricted revenue than with unrestricted, we have a significant need for additional general assignment researchers and writers whose work may not be covered by specific dedicated grants. Also, Worldwatch needs to stay up to date technologically in order to reach the public and policymakers. We're interested in updating our content, including our publications and web material, to be as easily accessible as possible and available with mobile devices and e-readers. The way information is being consumed is changing, and Worldwatch needs to stay ahead of that curve. We'd also like to resurrect our bi-monthly magazine called Worldwatch. Founded in 1988, Worldwatch became a testing ground for many of the topics and ideas that eventually found their way into our publications and other outputs. Declining revenue forced us to discontinue publication in 2010, but we hope to bring back this popular environmental magazine. With the right resources, we feel we could chart a path that could lead to genuinely sustainable and equitable societies. While environmental data and information are all around us, there's much less real wisdom about the urgency and the feasibility of modifying policy and behavior to reach true sustainability. We feel that we are a visionary institution that could imagine enduring societies that maximize human potential. Also, while we have experts in the fields of climate and energy, sustainable agriculture, and population, there are some issues that don't fit neatly into any of these program areas. We'd like to expand our staff to include experts in the fields of water supply, biodiversity, and urbanization, to name a few, to address some of the most pressing needs of the 21st century. As the human footprint expands due to increases in the number of people and their rates of consumption, these issues will become increasingly important as freshwater reserves are depleted, biodiversity is exploited, and growing cities require more and more natural resources.